The internet loves to watch a sure thing stumble just before the finish line. For a little while, it seemed like that was going to be the story of Arissa LeBrock, the daughter of action legend Steven Seagal. You probably heard the whispers, a bungled WWE tryout, a quiet failure, and then a total disappearance. But what if that story, the one everyone was telling, was completely wrong? What if the silence wasn't about failure at all, but about a brutal injury that almost killed her dream before it ever really began? This is the real story. This is the journey of how a famous last name became a symbol of pure resilience, and how a wrestler the world forgot was reborn in the fires of the squared circle. To really get this journey, you have to go back to the beginning. Arissa LeBrock was born into a world of absolutely insane expectations. Her father is Steven Seagal, one of the biggest action stars on the planet, a guy whose entire brand was built on stoic intensity and a nearly mythical martial arts background. Her mother was Kelly LeBrock, the iconic supermodel and actress who basically defined an era with her magnetic charm, growing up in a shadow that big could easily crush a person. For a while, Arissa forged her own path, making a name for herself in the high-stakes world of plus-size modeling. She even starred in the reality show Growing Up Supermodel, where she championed body positivity and fought to be seen as her own person, not just someone's daughter. But while one part of her legacy was all Hollywood glam, that other half, the martial arts gene, was just waiting. She didn't follow her dad into Aikido. Instead, she found her own fire in the gritty, humbling discipline of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. This was a world away from choreographed movie fights. This was real, it was tough, and every single inch of progress was earned with sweat and mat burns. That unique mix, a model's undeniable presence and a BJJ fighter's toughness, made her the perfect prospect for professional wrestling. In December 2019, the call every single aspiring wrestler dreams of finally came. WWE invited Arissa for a tryout at their top-tier performance center in Orlando. This was the golden ticket. She had the look, the world-famous family, and most importantly, she had legitimate combat skills you just can't fake. Her BJJ background, with its focus on submissions and leverage, gave her an instant credibility that made her stand out from the pack. WWE tryouts are legendary for being grueling events, designed to push the most elite athletes to their breaking point, both physically and mentally. But Arissa, already disciplined from her BJJ training, was ready for the grind. By all accounts, she killed it. People who were there saw the raw potential, a powerful athlete who could blend real martial arts with the unique storytelling of pro wrestling. The comparisons started flying right away, with some seeing flashes of dominant forces like Nia Jax, but with an extra layer of technical skill that was all her own. This wasn't just a publicity stunt. It looked like the start of a surefire run to the top. The story seemed like it was already written. Arissa LeBrock was going to be a WWE superstar. And then, just as fast as the hype train started, it slammed on the brakes. After that promising tryout, Arissa LeBrock completely vanished from the wrestling scene. The trail went ice cold. In the fast-moving, rumor-driven world of pro wrestling, that kind of silence is deafening, and it left a void that fans and forums quickly filled with their own theories. The internet did what it does best. The story that took hold was that she just couldn't handle the grind. That the celebrity's daughter took a shot at a tough business and quietly quit when things got too real. Rumors flew that she had a bad attitude, couldn't take the pressure, or had been secretly blacklisted by the company. The myth became that Arissa LeBrock got her one shot, blew it, and disappeared. It was a simple, easy story of failure. And for years, that was the only story out there. As far as the wrestling world was concerned, the book on Arissa LeBrock was closed. The truth, however, is almost always more complicated. And in this case, a whole lot more painful than any rumor. To understand her comeback, you have to understand just how far she fell. The reason Arissa was gone wasn't a lack of talent or a bad attitude. It was something devastatingly human. During that grueling WWE tryout, the unthinkable happened. Arissa suffered a severe, career-threatening injury. This wasn't a small setback. It was a catastrophic blow that brought her dream to a screeching halt. Because she wasn't officially under a WWE contract, there was no press release, no official statement. She was just gone. The physical pain was immense, but the psychological damage was arguably worse. The dream that was right there in her hands had been ripped away. With incredible honesty, Arissa later admitted she had fallen into a deep, dark place. In her own words, she became comfortable in the darkest, worst place in her life. Just think about that. It's one thing to face an opponent in the ring. It's another to face the kind of despair that makes giving up feel comfortable. For most people, this would have been the end. The dream was dead, but a dream deferred isn't always a dream denied. After hitting absolute rock bottom, Arissa got a phone call that changed everything. The call was from Dustin Rhodes, a WWE Hall of Famer and one of the most respected minds in the business. Dustin, son of the legendary American Dream Dusty Rhodes, knows a thing or two about carving out your own path in the shadow of a famous father. He'd heard Arissa's story, the potential, the injury, the silence, and saw greatness that was just waiting to be unleashed. He offered her more than just training. He offered her a second chance when she thought they were all gone. It was the lifeline she desperately needed. Arissa made a huge decision. She packed up her life in California and moved to Austin, Texas, to go all in at Dustin Rhodes Wrestling Academy. This place was a world away from the polished WWE Performance Center. The RWA is an old-school, sweat-and-sawdust gym where the only thing that gets you respect is the work you put in. Here, she wasn't Steven Seagal's daughter. She was a rookie, starting over from square one. Under Dustin's guidance, she was completely broken down and rebuilt from the ground up. She worked with a trainer to meticulously reconstruct her body, becoming stronger than she'd ever been. For months, she just drilled the fundamentals, taking bumps, running the ropes, and learning how to tell a story without saying a word. Dustin helped her translate her BJJ skills into the language of pro wrestling, fusing her grappling expertise with new power and ring psychology. He was blown away by her drive, and in an interview he made a bold prediction. Pretty soon the whole world's going to be talking about Arissa LeBrock. After months of that brutal transformation, her moment of truth finally came. In March 2023, Arissa LeBrock made her official in-ring debut. It wasn't in a giant WWE arena. It was at a Rhodes Wrestling Academy student showcase in front of a small, passionate Texas crowd, the kind of fans who know the sacrifice it takes to even step through the ropes. This was her moment on her terms. When she walked out, the change was undeniable. This wasn't a model playing a wrestler. She carried herself with a cold, focused intensity. The second the bell rang, it was clear this was no gimmick. Reports from the show described her as brutally efficient, a seamless blend of her BJJ grappling and bone-jarring power. She won her debut match decisively, and in that small Texas hall, as her arm was raised, she wasn't just Steven Seagal's daughter anymore. She was a professional wrestler who had clawed her way back from the brink. That debut was just the beginning. Her journey hit a stunning peak in August 2025, a month that saw her explode back onto the scene. First, she made a jaw-dropping appearance for TNA Wrestling, putting the entire industry on notice. Then, on August 12, 2025, the moment that once seemed impossible finally happened. Arissa LeBrock debuted on WWE's Monday Night Raw. The whispers of failure were finally silenced by the roar of a worldwide audience watching a true comeback story unfold. She didn't take the easy road, she took the long, hard one, and that has made all the difference. Arissa's journey is proof that a legacy isn't just about what you're given. It's about what you build. She's already proven she isn't in wrestling to be famous. She was born famous. She's in wrestling because she chose the hard road, battling back from a devastating injury and the weight of her family name to earn her spot. She didn't just accept the legacy she was handed, she is redefining it with her own grit. Now, with the whole wrestling world watching, the future for a talent this unique is wide open. She has the look, the pedigree, the legitimate combat skills, and most importantly, a story of resilience that connects with people. She has that rare mix perfectly suited for modern wrestling. The martial arts background for credibility, the Hollywood lineage for crossover appeal, and the hard-fought journey for authenticity. The question is no longer if Arissa LeBrock belongs in a WWE ring. The only question now is, how high can she climb? Is she a future women's world champion, a force who can change the entire division? Let us know your dream matchups for her in the comments below. And if you found this story of resilience as inspiring as we did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more.